You'll be doing things you don't like doing in order to go on living, that is, to go on doing things you don't like doing, which is stupid. Better to have a short life that is full of what you like doing than a long life spent in a miserable way.
Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Thank you so much for joining me, Jag Singh, on another episode of Positive Minds on the Sikh channel. You can constantly follow me for constant motivation on Twitter at JagSingh_I can. And what is this program about? This program is about me bringing on experts and inspirational people to give us advice and tips on how we can better our lives. And today, I'm very happy to say I have a special guest, Sarbjit Kaur from Leeds, who is a part of a great organisation called Sikh Elders Service in Leeds. Thank you, Sarbjit, for joining us today.
Thank you, Jagjit Singh. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Sat Sri Akal Ji.
Sat Sri Akal Ji, Sat Sri Akal Ji. Okay, so Sarbjit, tell me about this great effort and work you're doing, because I've always believed that one of the great foundations of Sikhism is seva. Seva for your children, for your family, for your elders, and sometimes for the unknown, the people you don't even know. And that's a Sikh foundation. And tell us the amazing seva that your organisation is doing in Leeds.
So I'm from Sikh Elders Service in Leeds, and we come under an organisation called Touchstone, which are a mental and health wellbeing organisation. So what we do is we support the Sikh elders in Leeds community. They either self-refer or they are referred by their health professional or GP that's involved in their well-being and care.
Excellent. And look at some of these pictures that we've got on the screen at the moment. I mean, that looks like such a comfortable community, and how you are respecting the elders, getting them together, doing the community stuff. I think that's so amazing.
So if you can see from the pictures, we do quite a lot of different activities. So we take them outdoors. We go on a summer beach trip every year. We do picnics in the park. We do a lot of creative workshops. And one of the events that we do is on a monthly basis, which is an evening social where the elder comes along with their child or grandchildren. And we all sit together. We sing old Purane Geet, old songs. But it's more about the family getting out once a month and being with the community.
Excellent, excellent. Because I find that when some individuals retire, they can become lonely, bored, and this can have an impact on their mental health and their well-being. How can this be avoided? Because obviously you've been doing this for a little while now. What is your advice to those people that are retired and feel a little bit bored? What is your advice to them?
Yeah, so you can join a group like Sikh Elders Service. So on a Monday, we do Jada Cup, which is a weekly thing that we do, where they all get together, have a cup of tea, do their gup shop, and then we have yoga for about an hour. And then we do some peer mentoring workshop. Then we have lunch together, and then we might do another activity in the afternoon, a poetry workshop. We might do a drama class. We might do some creative work, or we might do some Punjabi literature and Gurbani Vichar. So we just make the day fun. So it's always changing. But then that's just one way. Then there's the other way that we can do is we do one-to-one calls on the phone if we need to keep in touch with our elders that aren't able to come out into the community because of, say, low mobility. Or they may have additional complex needs, or they're very frail and they would just like to have a phone call once a week or once a fortnight. So we do that as well. So we keep connected with them.
Exactly, perfect. I think that's the key, isn't it? Keeping connected with them, knowing that someone's out there listening to them, who wants to communicate with them, and sometimes just a bit of therapy, isn't it? Really, just speaking to these people, it makes them feel good. I mean, I know when I phone my mum up, she goes to me on the and after the phone call, I think I've actually helped her. You're laughing. You know exactly what I'm talking about. And after the phone call, I feel as if, all right, she's giving me an air bashing, but it's just that something. It's a release, because she sits there all day watching telly, and just pick up that phone and have a chat with them. As you said, you do Jada Cup, being active, Boli Bisri Yade. Please tell me a bit about that.
So Bhuli Bisri Yaad is where we sing old songs. So we might do a worksheet of, let's say, a work song book of all of the Mindra songs or Lata Mangeshkar's, and we do like a sing along. But then we always say, if you want to bring your own, if you want to be confident enough to stand in front of everybody and do a sharing, go ahead. So we have speakers, mics, a bit may have a mandolin, and they love that, and they have roti afterwards as well. So that's something they look forward to, and they can bring their children, their daughter-in-laws, their sons. So it's like a social once a month as well.
So it's like a big community affair going on. I mean, I love it.
Yeah,
I think this is an
yeah.
excellent idea, and I think this should be all over the world. I think everywhere there should be a Sikh Elders Service, And I think, how did you guys come up with the idea? How did it happen?
Okay, so basically, Touchstone are the organisation that runs services for mental and well-being in the community, and what they do is they inspire communities and they transform lives as well. And so Sikhs approached Touchstone and said, is there a group or an activity that we can take part in? We speak Punjabi and there's nothing much out in the community for us. Is there something that we can do as well, be involved in? And that's where it all happened. So it was a new little project, little baby called Sikh Elders from Touchstone. They applied to our local authority for funding, and then Sikh Elders was born. So it actually came from the community. So it was co-productive. The Sikhs actually went and to the service themselves and says that we'd also like to have groups to go to, so that they're not at home feeling very lonely.
Yeah, talking about being home, being lonely. Excuse me. I found that the biggest challenge that we have in the Sikh community is when you go to your mum and your dad and they're at retirement age and say to them, Dad, mummy, Barcelona, let's go to a community, let's gather with a few individuals who can share similar topics like you said, the songs and everything. The biggest hurdle we have is when the mum and dad turn around, मैं किथे जाना, मैं नहीं कोई क्लब ग्रुप जाना, मैं नहीं कोई community जाना, मैं घर बैठा ठीक है. Just normally sitting in front of the TV is fine for them, but it's not fine for them. So just as a professional view, that is not fine. It is not fine for them. How can we overcome this hurdle?
So at the moment, because we're in lockdown, we're not able to meet because of keeping our Sikh elders safe and ourselves, because we also have vulnerable people at home. I live with my elderly in-laws as well. So because of that reason, we're not interacting with our Sikh elders physically. So what's happening now is we're doing them on a video call, and we're doing gentle exercises. So these gentle exercises are muscle strengthening, but they also keep the immune system strong. Sitting all day is not healthy for anybody. If you're elderly or young, you need to keep those muscles active. So, we give them recommendations of what they could do. We give them gentle exercises to do. We signpost them to other things that are happening, like if they want to join a yoga Zoom class. So there's things that are also out there. We say do gardening. We say read a book, to keep the brain active as well, listen to music as well.
Yeah. And
so there's
talking about sorry?
There's lots of strategies that we get a lot of advice like through public health as well. So we always look at what public health says, what the government says, how we can support the elderly as well. And from that we communicate that in Punjabi to our Sikh elders. So when it's, for example, flu vaccination, Saranu Chahida at the moment, so make sure you've booked your appointments. Vitamin D, get your vitamin Ds now. It's good to have that for the next 6 months. This is all public health advice, good sleeping patterns, drinking water. So sometimes they always get these WhatsApp, this is the cure for COVID and this and that. So we try and help stop those myths going around and just make sure that only getting the guidance and the information from public health and the UK government.
Excellent. So you spoke about that you're doing video calls with the elderly at the moment, because I was going to say that because of COVID, the situation must have changed of how you're keeping going, but you're still moving forward. So that's brilliant. One of the issues there, again, is technology with elders. Now, not only in the Sikh community, but all around the world, elders are sometimes look at technology and they're petrified. Oh, I can't do that. Oh, no, I'm too old to learn. Now, I remember my father, when he retired, he was sitting most of the time looking at the TV, and I said to him, well, Dad, you know, you need to learn how to use WhatsApp, how to communicate with people. And he said exactly the same thing to me. He said to me that I won't be able to learn, I'm too old. But the next generation, my children and my nephew and niece, he sat down and they taught him how to use it. Unfortunately, since that time, his health has gone down, and you know, he's lost his hearing, he can't walk properly. And I'll tell you one thing, so he's always on WhatsApp. That is his link to the world. Without knowing that technology, he would not know what's going on. There'll be no link because he can't hear, he can't barely walk. So what is your advice to those बुजुर्ग आते जो सोच रहे हैं technology नहीं सीख सकते, ऐसी बहुत बुद्धि हो गया, इसी नहीं करना? What would your advice be to those people?
So at Sikh Elders, we do offer sort of like training in how to use tablets, and how to use iPads, how to use phones. But at the moment, we've given them guidance in Punjabi, how to download apps, how to download Zoom, other applications as well. And we talk through them over the phone. So that's just us doing it. But we always say, share it with your family members. So your daughter-in-law, son-in-law, daughter, and your grandchildren, can they help you upload the app, teach you how to do it? So it has to be very holistic. So I know we're giving the advice, but they have to have the time given to them where they can slowly practice, keep having a go, and then they slowly get it. But yeah, we have that. And then we have got a few tablets that we might have spare that we borrowed from another charity. We could obviously offer those to families that don't have any type of technology in the home, or do not have any family to support them at home with learning how to use these applications. So again, it's about teaching. Yeah, if you've got the grandchildren, the children around, give them some time and teach them. But if they haven't, then it's the telephone, it's the standard telephone, and we'll keep in touch with them that way.
Old school telephone. Because I personally, I mean, these kids these days on the iPads and the phones, they're whiz kids, right? They just do it without even looking at it. I mean, when I type in, I'm going like that on the phone, and my kids laugh at me because, and they laugh at me where they're going like that with both of their thumbs and talking at the same time. And these guys are amazing. But then again, that's because they've grown up with it. And the elders, they did not grow up with it. So I am going to say right now, and tell me if I'm wrong, is that the next generation should sit with the dada and the daddy and the uncles and teach them. It don't take too long, and you hit the nail on the head there, Sarbjit. You know, practice makes perfect. Yeah, so nobody gets it right first time. You know, nobody gets it right. So my dad used to like when my dad was learning WhatsApp. Well, how about you got that? How can you on that? You know, they're going to constantly ask you questions, and questions are the way to learn more, as I always tell my children and everyone, you know. So it can be done, and I personally think those whiz kids out there who, you know, are on the phones and on the Xboxes and that, should take a little bit of time out and sit with the dad and daddies. What do you think?
Yeah, so some of the calls that we make on a weekly basis are done on their grandchildren's telephones or their daughter-in-laws or son-in-laws or sons' telephones. So we've got their numbers, so they know the sizes, and I need to give my phone to Dadiji or Dadaji. They need my phone, or they need an iPad ready, which is great. So it can happen, but it's just taking that time out and just sitting with them and slowly go through it with them. But there are some elders that will say asini lena na asi video call karna kise nu, and we have to respect that. So if they say sanu chaida nahi, asi theek hai, sada ghar telephone lag gaya, we have to respect that as well.
Fine. Excellent. That's true. The other thing I was going to say, Sarbjit, is that every time I've been to India, I noticed that in the evenings, after we've had our meal, all the elders, the auntie, the bua, the chachi, used to get their shawls on and go for a great walk after dinner. And I've noticed that in this country, a lot of Sikh elders do it as well. But then again, going back to when you get retired, you get bored, you get mental health issues, you don't feel like going out. I think that should be encouraged still, that after dinner, roti pani kha ke, we go for a little walk. You know, and it's not a big exercise, but it makes a big difference. Would you agree?
Yeah, again, depending on how I would promote it, yes, it's a good thing if you're able to do that. But if again, when it comes to low mobility, it's very difficult. So we would say, you know, if you can walk around your garden or your front room, just to keep going, hana. So again, yes, after roti, as you bed there, hana, it's better that you get up and chalo let's say chaliye. So for 20 minutes, just go for a brisk walk. It doesn't have to be a fast walk. Holy nale dok sok vi ho jande a, ek duje naal gussa kad sakde a, but it's all through a natural environment, isn't it? Hana, do tin chugliyan maar daniya, whatever, you know, kar de halat te galbaat ho jandiyan, but you come back refreshed, whatever, you always come back refreshed, don't you? So yeah, I definitely recommend it.
Because it's a kind of release, isn't it? You're talking, you're letting some weights on your shoulder, you're just letting it down, you're releasing it. So definitely encouraged. I find that we live in a time now in the UK, Sarbjit, that when the organisations I've worked for, that when individuals reach retirement age, the organisation actually does a retirement plan for them. Right now, this is talking about people who are about to retire. The retirement plan consists of what you're going to do with your life, basically. You know, because obviously insurance companies are encouraging this as well. So, would you agree that if someone is about to retire, go retirement on an old plan banana, you know, make a little retirement plan rather than just I'm a retired that's it, end of story. Do you think they should make some sort of a plan?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, some of our service users actually request this. So what we do is we signpost them, or we bring in a service to the hub where they talk in Punjabi, or they do a PowerPoint and they bring in the word Mrs. Singh and Mrs. Kaur, so they make it very relatable. This is the situation if you want to invest in your future, retirement for planning. So that's even will planning, you know, we do that service, but we also do signpost and we'll say asini advice de sakde je tusi professional advice lena hai tusi zarur ena card ya le lo tusi ta zarur tusi ghar baith ke vichar tusi karo apne parivar na, talk to your family members. Sometimes these are difficult conversations to have, but they're to have, because even it comes to advanced care planning, you know, so for example, if you become ill, so it's always really important that you talk about what care you'd like in the future. So you can talk to your children, say, you know, I'd like someone to come in and look after me. It's okay. I know you're both working. You don't have to do all the seva. We're happy to have people that come in and do that for us. Or, you know, they might, if they need to go into, say, a hospice for some intervention, again, talk about those conversations, because Punjabi log, they think that a hospice is you go in and you don't come out, so again, it's about telling people it's a place where you can recover. It's very holistic care, so they look after the whole family. So all these aftercare, you know, these decisions that need to be made in the future need to be discussed now with the children.
Yeah. So definitely, if you're retiring, there you go. So you sit there, make a plan of what you want to do, any projects you want to do, anything you want to think about. I mean, so I had an uncle of mine, right? He retired and he was bored sitting at home, and he had an electrical company on the undersea, and he had loads of stocks in a warehouse. And I went to him one day and I said to him, Uncle, you got all these stocks sitting there, you're retired and you're sitting there watching TV. Why don't you do something? He goes, oh, Maggie done that. So what I said to him is, why don't you go on eBay and start selling your products? And you know what, Sarbjit, now it's been about 7-8 years, and he's always on it. I went on his house the other day, he's on 3 laptops at the same time. And it's he didn't know how to use eBay, but I said to him, well, get your children to teach you. Oh, okay. They said he was a bit of a pain because obviously he didn't understand. It's understandable because it's a total new, different world. But he took the effort, and now he's saying, I love it. He's got a great account on eBay. He's sending some amazing stuff. And I think the main important thing, would you agree, Sarbjit, is keeping your brain ticking?
Exactly. So, like with retirement, just what are your aspirations? What are your dreams that you haven't fulfilled? I mean, there was a lady that was over 90, and she said to her granddaughter, "मैं कभी कमाई नहीं की थी," है ना? And now she started her own sweet confectionery business, you know, at the age of 90 plus. So that was her voice, her aspirations, her dreams, and that came true. So if you want to travel the world, if you want to go backpacking, help them make that happen. You know, if you decide help that make that happen. So listen to your elders. What do you think that they might want for the future? What they see there as their retirement. If they want to travel the world, see how you can help that happen. Yeah. So have these conversations. They're all healthy conversations because everyone's happy, and then their mental health is much happier too.
And I understand, so we live in a rat race where everything's so fast. You've got to take the kids to school, roti bananiya, akanaya, bachchan school. I know that all goes on. I know that. But I've always found that, as I said before, when I find out my mum, I got a lot going on. I'm a writer, I do positive minds, I work. But I always think to myself, no, like, for example, now I'm telling you the truth, tomorrow is Mum Day. I'm going to get it in the ear for my mum tomorrow because I like it. I like her releasing the therapy. I mean, I can handle it on the agit tag and you'll get that. But I think it's important for us to find that time. I think you hit the nail on the head. The conversation is important.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we have roti at home every day together. And then we were decorating for a few days. And then my father-in-law says, Aaj pata nahi ki ho gaya, sare ral ke roti nahi khande. You know, and it was just for 2 days we hadn't done it. And then on the third day, they said something. And then you see, but Dad said that. So then the conversation, and we remember that because they were upset by it and thought, no, we need to make sure we keep it going kind of thing. But they expressed it, they communicated it. And then, yeah, we took that on board. If you don't communicate in the family, you don't, that time together isn't as smooth. How can I put it? Yeah. So yeah, communication is key within a family. Definitely when you've got 3 generations.
Is that what you got? You got 3 generations in your house, yeah?
Yes. So yeah, Mum and Dad are in their 80s, and then I have a 22-year-old, a 20-year-old, and a 9-year-old.
Excellent. Salute to you for doing that. Salute for keeping the joint network there, for keeping everyone together. And I think that's a great thing. Sarbjit, I always believe that everybody needs a good team behind them. Okay, and what you're doing does take. I don't think people realise how hard you guys work with what you're doing, getting the people together, the communication, the tea parties ready, and everything. It's a lot of hard work. I mean, tell me about your amazing team.
So I think, you know, we both, all 3 of us, Gurseem Kaur, Kuldeep Kaur, and myself, Sarbjit Kaur, we all 3 of us have the similar value systems. We're all from a Sikh family. We speak Punjabi. We have similar family structure. We understand our Sikh values about being compassion and looking after our elders. So because we're all 3 of us are quite well aligned, we really work really well together, and we always put our service user as priority. So which makes our team really, really work well together.
And it shows what you're doing, and I would like to salute you guys, right, for everything you're doing, because I think it's
so Maharaj de Mehr de naal sara kuch hunda hai. You know, we all have our, you know, internal sort of like struggles, health issues, but we still think about our elders, you know, some of the issues that they go through. That's probably where our compassion is, that they've got nobody, they've got no children, they've got no family here. Some haven't even gone back in 50 years because they didn't have a passport. They couldn't find their birth certificate, so they weren't given a passport. So you're trying to keep in touch with them and listen to their stories, just to keep hearing their stories. So yeah, we just see, you know, there are other people who are having, you know, but we're strong together. We're strong together.
Excellent. And Sarbjit, listen, I wish you all guys all the best, and I think there should be more out there. So thank you very much for what you're doing, okay? Yes. And keep up the good work. And thank you for joining us on Positive Minds today.
Thank you very much for inviting us, Jagjit Singh. Thank you, Sikh Channel.
Thank you. Okay, guys, so there you have it. Sarbjit Kaur out there helping the Sikh Elders. And her message to you guys is conversate. Speak to your elders and respect them, okay? And guys, keep yourself motivated and inspired, just like my guest today, Sarbjit. Until the next time, okay? Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.